Good evening. I didn't get to do that at our other meetings. We're reconvening the board from a previously closed session. Tonight we are joined by a very special group from Prescott Elementary, Chris McCarron, and I'm told it's girl power tonight, so they're going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So Chris, come on up, introduce yourselves, and lead us in the pledge.
We really did have guys, but we found out that they weren't resistant to the fluke, so.
The weaker.
As always.
Go ahead, Daisy, introduce yourself.
Step up to the microphone there. There we go.
My name is Jace Pins, and I'm in 5th grade at Prescott Elementary.
I'm Amelia Brand from Prescott 5G. I'm Hannah Smith from Prescott and 5G.
I'm LaShanti Martin from Prescott 5LT.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the agenda as submitted. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move the Board of Education approve the minutes of the regular meeting on February 10th and the strategic planning session on February 24th, 2014 as submitted.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the minutes of the regular meeting on February 10 and the strategic planning session on February 24, 2014 as submitted. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, board salutes. Mr. Byteen.
Mr. President, just want to take a moment and recognize and congratulate the Foundation for the Butte Public Schools in naming a new executive director. Jennifer Klinkhammer was recently announced as their new executive director, and we want to wish her all the best in her new assignment. Also want to recognize this evening the effort of our food service department. Joanne Frank and team recently reported in the paper that for some of our schools, food services, particularly for hot breakfasts, have doubled in the last 2 years. And so there's a tremendous amount of effort that obviously goes into providing those. I would note that hot breakfasts now are being served 5 days a week at Irving. There are hot breakfasts 3 days a week at Bryant, 5 days a week for Sageville. Those are increases from last year, and we continue to serve at many other institutions throughout our district. And appreciate the work that they do for all the food service employees, for the staff, for everyone who supports that program. It's real important our kiddos start the day with a hot breakfast so that they're prepared to learn, and we appreciate all the efforts that go into making that happen. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Byteen. Ms. Seeger?
Yeah, I had the honor of judging the Prescott Paper Dress Show earlier last week, and I have to say that that was a phenomenal experience. I have to give a shout out to Scott Lammer. He is a personal friend of mine, but also the art teacher down at Prescott that started this quite a few years ago. And now I have to say that the time and effort and the creativity and the learning experience those kids get down there at all 4 schools that are doing it now, Lincoln, Kennedy, Hoover, and Prescott, the paper dresses were amazing. And it was very hard to choose and score them, but I just want to give a shout out to Scott Lammer and the rest of the people that put that on, because it was a great show.
Great. Were there paper shoes to match? Or?
No, but somebody had
next year.
paper accessories.
Wow.
It was amazing.
Okay. Extra credit.
Wow. It was.
Extra
It
credit.
was good, yes.
Thank you. Mr. Prohaska.
Yeah, I'd like to give a couple salutes here. First of all, I'd like to salute Teresa Slade, the choir director at Hempstead High School, for being elected Northeast Iowa District Representative in the Iowa Choral Directors Association. So congratulations to her. I also like to recognize the Senior High Speech Department. There are 90 students attend the Iowa State Speech Association Large Group Festival at Ames, and they received 2 Critics' Choice Awards. They put 90 students down there, so that's great. Congratulations to them. Then I'd also like to salute and wish best wishes and good luck to the senior high school basketball team and their coach Wendell Eimers as they embark in a state tournament this Wednesday at 6:30, I believe.
6:35.
6:35. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Strelo.
I just wanted to congratulate our spelling bee champion from Washington Middle School and my neighbor, Siboney Ram, lives down the street from us, and we've gotten to know her a little bit. She's a great young lady, and really proud of her. Quite a competition they had there over the weekend, and pretty impressive to whatever she spelled 35 words in a row or something. I didn't.
51 rounds.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of them, so
Do you know what the winning word was?
I don't even know.
Schadenfreude.
Yeah, I saw that, but
Yeah,
I
how do you
didn't.
spell that? Come on, you can't even spell that word.
Yeah.
It's German.
Ask her.
Matt will check with her and then report back. Says she didn't need- Great, thank you, Mr. Strelo. Ms. Ryan?
All right, last but not least, Chris McCarron took off, but I wanted to give Prescott Elementary a congratulations on their charter renewal. They took a team down to the Department of Education in Des Moines, gave a presentation, and got positive feedback from the Department of Education on the programming that they have going on down there, and I just thought that it just validates the time and the effort that that staff has put into that program. So we're happy to see that that was renewed. Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you very much. Open forum.
I move that the Board of Education suspend the rules of order and go into open forum.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education suspend the rules of order and go into open forum. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Anybody in the forum tonight wishing to address the board would step forward now.
We have a plan together.
You have a planned guest.
Now we have issues.
Barb Van Horst from
Junior.
Achievement.
Okay. Welcome.
Thank you all very much. Barb, you'll take care of this, right?
Yeah.
With my big mouth, nobody talks.
It's pretty sensitive, so.
Anyway, thank you all very much for having me here tonight, and I really appreciate this opportunity to visit with you. And I'm going to kind of read off my notes because I'm very excited about junior achievement, and I could talk all night long about it and have been known to do so. So if I read my notes, please forgive me that. But I was reviewing your strategic plan, which Dan had shared with me, and I can see that from that you all are facing with some of the issues that all schools are dealing with: the graduation rates, addressing the skills gap of skills that are needed by the workplace and skills that the students have, dealing with declining education dollars and cuts from state and funding sources. And in short, you're trying to work on making sure that your kids are ready for the work world afterwards, and that's kind of what your goal is from kindergarten through 12th grade. And it just so happens that JA has been providing that link since we began since JA began nationally in 1919. And we have gone from 1919, where we were serving a few hundred kids every year, to today we serve 4.2 million students in the United States every year. And we're also in 120 countries around the world. I find it interesting that some of our best students are from China and Russia and Eastern Europe, which says something about the way the world is evolving. Locally, JA was established in 1956, and we currently serve a 24-county territory, which is in eastern Iowa, western Illinois, and Grant County in Wisconsin. And every year in our territory, more than 53,000 students have a JA experience, and 4,000 of these students reside in the tri-state area here. And our goal in the tri-state, as well as in every area, is to help you all realize your students' full potential by focusing on education development, economic development, and youth development. And sometimes that surprises people because they're saying, well, I can see with kids and I can see with education, but where's the economic development come in? Well, I always think that we are preparing the next generation of people in the workforce. And if you think about it, every child is going to be in the economy. They're going to be in the workforce. Now some of them are going to be great students and people who are able to give back and share with the economy and share and be good citizens and well-informed voters. And others of them aren't going to be that way. So I'd much rather have the bigger percentage on the ones who are than the ones who aren't, and that's what JA lives for. We do this by providing programs that help kids understand the value of an education, so that it's not the point of, I really don't see how I'm ever going to use this and why I would ever need to have it. We want to instill the 21st century skills that you recognize here, and we define those as critical thinking, problem solving, being able to work in teams. And we want to provide students with a role model from the community who can share with them their experiences in the work world and tell them some of the successes as well as some of the bumps that they've dealt with and how they've worked through them. You know, we compliment the hard work and the dedication that your staff does in educating the students, because we take experiential learning activities and put them in the hands of the students. And we deliver programs in your district that are focused on work readiness, financial literacy, and entrepreneurial thinking. You know, work readiness we all understand, but financial literacy is important because kids need to understand that they can live the life that they, regardless of what their earning power is, that if they just save a little bit more than they spend, they'll be in good shape. They understand about loans and understand about how to live within their lives, how to have budgets. And knowing that can take off some of the pressure in terms of how their whole total view on life comes out. We also teach about entrepreneurial thinking. And not every child is going to become an entrepreneur. But I want kids to think, okay, if I come up in an issue in work and somebody says, well, that isn't going to work, I don't want kids to go, well, too bad, that isn't going to work. Because I think what makes an entrepreneur work is saying, okay, that idea didn't work, but I believe in this so strongly, and this is my responsibility to make this happen. So I'm going to work around it. I've always said that, and in the old days this used to be true, you know, if my house was being foreclosed, if somebody said to me, well, this isn't going to work, I would have said, oh, well, too bad, pack the suitcases. It would have been, I am going to do anything I can to make that happen. Well, that's how I want our workers to be. So we do that, and we have classes from K through 12. And our programs present your educators with a number of ways to use the current information in the curricula that applies the real-life world to what they're learning. And in doing so, our content correlates very closely to the Common Core standards. And we definitely meet the social studies curriculum standards required by the state of Iowa. And in fact, in my magic binder here, which I'm going to leave for Stan, we explain what the standards are. Of course, you know what they are, but how we correlate with those, and how we correlate with the social studies as well. And a lot of people don't realize that, but we hear a lot of educators that say, if it weren't for you delivering this programming, we wouldn't have it, or we'd have to come up with another way of doing it, or we'd have to come up with some other alternate cost way to afford this. But we provide that. In fact, a third of our 22 programs are focused specifically on career readiness skills and preparing students to successfully enter college, post-secondary education, or the world of work. And they provide kids the opportunity to practice and apply these real-world workplace skills. And again, collaboration and communication, critical thinking and problem solving, creativity, and innovation. This year, 75 of your educators in the district have requested JA programs in the classroom. And these educators tell us that our programs are very easy to integrate. One side note, and again, I saw it in your strategic plan, I thought, man, this is great. This couldn't have worked out better because of the way we correlate. That we are getting into the digital world. And we've been slow. We have all these little kits that people walk out in, and we all say, okay, that's great, but let's get caught up in the digital. Let's get a little more caught up. So we have developed a blueprint for education progress that is showing how we're going to integrate digital learning through a learning management system that's being rolled out. Now, the first one that we're doing is the company program, and I don't know how many of you remember the company program, but it was extremely large in the Dubuque area. And that's something that we're going to do. One thing of note, at the company program, at its greatest, the biggest year that they had, they reached something like 400,000 students in the 1 year. And now again, as I said, this year we're reaching 4 million students. So what we're doing is taking an online format so people will be able to participate in those kinds of life-changing lessons in a way that's easier for them to manage. You know, we have, like I said, we have improved the skills that make kids more competitive in the workplace, financial literacy, entrepreneurial thinking, and we have some stats to support that. On average, JA students score significantly higher than their peers on assessments that measure financial literacy. 76% of our JA alum say that they have the skills to start their own businesses, as opposed to 41% of kids who were not in JA. 67% of our alumni reported that JA made them realize the importance of staying in school. 88% of JA alumni said JA helped them hone their decision-making skills, and 85% indicated that they had strengthened their interpersonal communication through JA. So we are really proud to partner with your district to help educators in achieving the academic goals for the students, as well as help their students connect classroom learning with graduation and life after graduation. This year, JA is going to be providing $63,300 in program cost to this school district. And our programs are offered at no cost to the district. We rely on our partnerships in the community to fund that. And I think it's a real source, a real way to show the support that people have for what we do, that we get this funding from folks. One thing that's interesting is that we don't get any United Way funding, which surprises a lot of people, but our corporate, our national headquarters does not allow us to do that. So a lot of people are very surprised to hear that, but we do raise our money from individuals, from foundations, and from our business partners. One way that you can help, aside from writing me a very healthy check on my way out of here individually, is that if you would be our JA ambassadors. You know, as you learn more about JA and you understand what we're doing, if you could share with people, because a lot of people say, oh, I know all about JA. Well, what do you know? Well, you do something with the kids and you bowl and you have that gala every other year, right? Well, yes, those things are all true. But if you could share the differences that we're making, that would go a long way for us. One other thing that's important, too, is that our curriculum is delivered by trained volunteers from the business community. And again, these people lead the students through hands-on learning activities, and they share their own personal experiences to enhance the relevancy of what they're learning. Because it's one thing to read it in the book, it's another thing to say, man, and especially to say, boy, I really blew it in this one instance, and I got through it, and here's what I did to get through it. I think kids learn as much when you admit that you've made a mistake as they do when everything's just flying beautifully. And to date, 79 volunteers from 22 organizations are currently supporting your district by teaching a JA class. In fact, as a result of our partnership, we project that approximately 2,000 students within this district will benefit from a JA experience this year. And I'm very pleased to say that this is a 13% increase compared with last school year. And this is all due to the requests that we've gotten from your teachers wanting this program. I don't know how I did on time, but I'm very pleased to have been here and to share with you what we've done. I do have a handout for you to look at. It explains it shows where we are, what classes we are in, and who's teaching them. And it also has a handout on the front that talks about the number of kids that we serve, the schools that we serve, people on our community board, and that sort of thing. Any questions? I don't know if we have time, but any questions about anything?
Any questions?
I had one question.
Yes.
Are these, let's see, you said that 75 educators requested?
Yes.
Was that all across the entire curriculum or any specific areas,
You know, if you
departments?
look, I think that sheet will show you how they're allocated out.
Okay.
We tend to be more focused in the elementary, not by choice, but
Okay.
we started out in elementary programs. Plus, as you get higher into high school, the scheduling is a little bit more difficult. But our goal and our strategic plan is to emphasize more of the upper grades, because those are the booster shot for when they actually are going to get out. So, one other thing too, I would invite you, if you would want to teach a class. I know that Rick, who has been very involved with us, he's been involved with us on our advisory council as well as teaching classes. We teach you what to do, and it's really gratifying to be able to share what you know. So,
Thank
okay.
you, Barbara.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I used to teach, but then I don't know why they didn't ask me back, but there's a lot of people that, at my organization that are teaching, and I do write that check for that gala every other year, so it's a great organization, great support for our students and our teachers as well, so thank you very much, Barbara.
I move the Board of Education reinstate rules of order and return to regular session.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education reinstate the rules of order and return to regular session.
All
All right.
in favor? Vote.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I
Brings
move-
us, oh, to the public hearing on the public improvement project for senior high school stone repointing project. I didn't know if Bill or Charlie was going to provide us with an overview before we move forward with the motions.
Good evening, board members. Just like to remind you, this project includes repointing of the existing limestone walls and some portions of concrete restoration at Senior. It's in a limited section of the building. It starts on the east side, starting at the new plaza elevator, and goes towards the parking lot to where everyone knows the smokestack area is. That's the wall we're talking about. Due to the location of this project, all work will be performed under a tented scaffold to contain dust and debris that could otherwise damage our new track and field. The estimated cost of that project was $130,000.
Thank you, Mr. Burkhardt. Motion?
I move that the
You go
Board of
for it.
Education, you want me to
Go ahead.
I move the Board of Education receive and file proof of publication of notice of public hearing on the senior high school stone repointing project and authorize payment of the legal notice publication costs of the Telegraph Herald.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education receive and file proof of publication of notice of public hearing on the senior high school stone repointing project and authorize payment of the legal notice publication costs to the Telegraph Herald. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education open the public hearing to allow public comment.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the Board of Education open the public hearing to allow public comments. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Anyone wishing to address the board on this particular project?
Speak now.
Speak.
I move that the Board of Education close the public hearing, return to regular session.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education close the public hearing and return to regular session. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
I move that the Board of Education approve a resolution adopting the plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimated total cost of the senior high school stone repointing project.
Second.
Keep going.
We'll
Keep going.
Oh,
You don't get off that easy.
whereas,
Whereas on the 13th day of January 2014, plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimated total cost were initially filed with the Secretary for the construction of certain public improvements described in general as the senior high school stone repointing project, and
I think we're on the wrong one.
whereas a notice of hearing on the plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimate of total cost for the said improvements was published as required by law. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Education of the Dubuque Community School District, Dubuque, Iowa, Section 1, that the said plans, specifications, form of contract, and the estimated total cost for the senior high school stone repointing project are hereby approved and adopted as the plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimated total cost for the said public improvement as described in the preamble of this resolution.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve a resolution adopting a plan, specifications, form of contract, and estimated total cost of the senior high school stone repointing project as read. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Burkhardt, the bids. Kind of like the Oscars. And the winner.
just no music.
On February 13th, 2014, 5 bids were received for this project, but only 4 were read. A bid from Renaissance Restoration acknowledged only 1 addendum, and there were 2 actually issued. So the decision was made not to read the results of that bid. Having said that, the 4 bids that were received and read were By States Masonry, Inc., base bid of $119,000. R&W Restoration, LLC, base bid of $160,000. E&H Restoration, $186,112. And Fred Jackson Tuck Pointing, base bid of $225,530. There was an alternative bid for $6,200. Based on the information I've just read, Buildings and Grounds concurs with a recommendation you should have in your packet to award the construction contract to By States Masonry, and that work would begin on June 10th and be completed by August 14th.
Thank you.
I move that the Board of Education approve a resolution making award of construction contract. Be it resolved by the Board of Education of the Dubuque Community School District, Dubuque, Iowa, Section 1, that the following bid for the senior high school stone repointing project described in the plans and specifications heretofore adopted by this board is accepted, the same being the lowest responsible bid received for such work as follows. Contractor, Bi-State Masonry Restoration Specialists of Rock Island, Illinois. Amount of bid, $119,000 plus $6,200. Alternate bid to clean limestone veneer for a total of $125,200. Section 2, that the President and Secretary are hereby directed to execute a contract with the contractor for the construction of the public improvements. Such contract not to be binding on the district until approved by this board.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve a resolution making award of the construction contract to Bi-State Masonry Restoration Specialists of Rock Island, Illinois, as read. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
I move that the Board of Education approve those items listed in the consent agenda.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve those items listed in the consent agenda. Are there any board members wishing to pull anything from the consent agenda for further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay.
Okay, we are to the Facilities Support Services Committee report. Mr. Martin?
This is going to be an entertaining facilities report.
We'll do the motion first and then she'll come up.
Yeah.
And then discuss.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have an 8-year-old, a coaching legend, and a damaged bus that we're giving away. So this is, I have my money on the 8-year-old for stealing the show, personally. Sorry, Bob. But let's go ahead and read the motion, Claire, so you'll be up in just a second here. I move that the Board of Education approve the donation from Hoover Elementary School and Claire Cares with Resources Unite for a buddy bench to be placed on the playground at Hoover Elementary School.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the donation from Hoover Elementary School and Claire Cares with Resources Unite for a buddy bench to be placed on the playground at Hoover Elementary School. We have discussion. We welcome Claire Vollisberg-Paget to the podium. Come up and
There's a box
I think there's
here.
something for you to stand on so you'll be as tall as you've ever been.
Hi, I'm Claire Vosberg-Paget. I'm a 3rd grade student at Hoover Elementary. I'm an 8-year-old kid who wants to change the world by building friendships and making our community a better place. I have a question for everyone here. How many of you have ever been witness to bullying in your life? Maybe you've been bullied. Maybe you've even seen someone bully others. Maybe, but hopefully not, you've been a bully. Maybe you have a son, daughter, grandchild, brother, sister, or friend that's been hurt by a bully. Unfortunately, bullying has touched nearly everyone's lives, and that makes me really sad. Sadly, the numbers I'm about to share with you continue to rise every month, even every day. It is estimated that 160,000 children miss school every day due to fear of attack or intimidation by other students. Source: National Education Association. 1 in 7 students in grade K through 12 is either a bully or a victim of bullying. 15% of all school absenteeism is directly related to fears of being bullied at school. 71% of students report incidents of being bullied as a problem at their school. Harassment and bullying have been linked to 75% of school shooting incidents. What can I do as an 8-year-old kid to help stop bullying? I can build friendships. It's harder to be a bully or allow bullying to happen when we are friends, and we all need more friends. So what is a way that we can build friendships at school? What about at a place at school where children should be playing and having fun and being a good friend? What about on the playground? The idea I'm asking for you to give me your support is for a buddy bench to be installed on the playground at Hoover Elementary. A buddy bench is a simple idea to eliminate loneliness and foster friendships on the playground. What a buddy bench is a bench on the playground that kids go to when they are feeling lonely, wanting somebody to talk to, or someone to play with. Other kids who have been taught through the school to include kids to go to the buddy bench and help out the kid that is looking for help. The buddy bench fights bullying and lets kids know it's okay to ask for help. The buddy bench builds friendships because we all need more friends. You may be asking yourself, how can I fund a buddy bench because I'm 8 years old and don't have a paying job? Here's how. Community support. Currently, Claire Cares is being assisted by Resources Unite. They're my fiscal agent. People are donating to provide buddy benches, not just at Hoover, but at other Dubuque elementary schools that would like them as well. The awesome PTO at Roosevelt has voted and agreed to donate $100 towards buddy benches for any school in Dubuque that will also host and implement a buddy bench. And we don't stop there. Clay Kisting from Lowe's got their supplier art to donate the composite materials for the bench. Then there are two metal companies in town. Vogenthaler and Bradley are working together to get the metal bent and powder coated. So the first bench frame for Hoover will be completely free, and any benches after that for other schools that will help me get buddy benches to all schools will be at reduced rate. But we will not know that specific price until the first bench is finished and we have the approval from Dubuque schools to proceed. You may now be asking yourself, how can the school sustain the buddy bench? The purpose of the buddy bench is to build friendships and include kids. So we need a school that is willing to really get behind the buddy bench and friendship movement. And Mrs. Haas, the principal at Hoover, is here to talk to you about that. In conclusion, I feel we need to provide a place for the kids at schools to go to when they feel lonely, want someone to talk to, or someone to play with others. I feel the buddy bench can do that. I also feel strongly that we need to work on promoting and building friendships to help stop bullying. I hope you all agree and want me to help me build friendships. Thank you for your time and consideration. Your friend, Claire.
Thank you.
Thank you, Claire. I don't know if you caught NPR today, but over the lunch hour they were. Oh, are you going to come speak? Okay. Do we have questions for?
Questions. Pretty sure she doesn't want to follow Claire.
Yeah, I don't know who would want. You want the box? Yeah, get the box.
I don't think I need the box, and it's a hard act to follow.
It is.
As we talked about at the facilities meeting, we are more than happy to accept this donation. And in order to make it part of what we do and make it sustainable for the long term, we are going to incorporate it into our character education plan. So our guidance counselor, Tracy Ellens, will be incorporating that into her guidance lessons. We have morning meetings every day at Hoover, so teachers will be incorporating the use of the buddy bench into their morning meeting and making it part of the classroom community and how we go about business with recess at school. And we're also going to make a video about how to use the buddy bench and present it at one of our assemblies that we have monthly. So we have a plan to incorporate it and to continue to sustain it year after year. So do you have any other questions?
I just want to make sure before I vote. Claire, now, how much does this thing cost?
The first bench is actually going to be free.
Free, okay. Okay, you're sure about that? Okay, she seems pretty sure.
She's a fiscal agent.
That's right.
Thank you.
Anything else for me?
No other questions?
Thank you very much.
I was saying, if you happen to listen to NPR today, they were replaying podcasts from the governor's summit last year that he convened on bullying, and there were two things that really popped out to me. One, they said, despite all the work that the schools are doing, it really starts with the parents. The parents set the tone with kids, teaching them how to empathize and how to make a difference. So to Claire's parents, you've made a huge difference.
You've made a huge difference.
And the second point that they made was the power lies with the students. It really does. Their ability to step up and make a difference with somebody who they see as being bullied and to stop it really lies with the students. So I think everybody that listened to Claire would agree that the power is with Claire. So Claire, congratulations. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody dare oppose? Motion passes. Thank you, and thank you, Claire.
The next one, do that.
Okay. I move that the Board of Education approve the naming of the Hempstead High School athletic field as Timmerman Field after longtime coach and teacher Bob Timmerman.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the naming of the Hempstead High School athletic field as Timmerman Field after longtime teacher and coach Bob Timmerman.
Great, thanks. I have just a couple of things to go into here. We're just so we know which field we're talking about. Yep. We're talking about the new turf field that's behind the tennis courts. So I mean, Bob, we had it narrowed down to that or the shot put circle. So we went with the football.
I threw the shot put in high school, but I'm not telling you how far.
Yeah.
I'm the number third on the team.
So we're talking about the turf field behind the tennis courts. Bob's a state champion coach. He's a great social studies teacher. Even after he left serving as a varsity coach, he agreed to coach the freshmen and actually coached the freshmen longer than the varsity, I think, if the notes are right. Is that true, Bob? And He was a youth official for wrestling. He still is a commentator on MediaCom. And I guess I'd ask Bob and Mary to stand up real quick. I have a couple of letters I'd like to, we had some letters that were sent in support, Bob. And one of them is from Mike Hoskins. And Mike Hoskins, of course, was one of the leaders in this. So Mike, could you stand up real quick, please? And then also Dave Baker has been very instrumental. So Dave, if you could stand up, and we'll get to you in a second, Tom Rusk.
They're both football players, by the way.
As we could tell. So here's some comments from Mike Hoskins real quick, just from the letter. Mike said, Bob, the one thing that struck me most was his interest in me as a person and what my goals in life were. He was constantly teaching us the values of life and stressed character and integrity on a daily basis. Coach taught us the values of hard work, discipline, teamwork, and what it meant to be a good man. He was and is a faithful family man who, with his wife Mary, raised 5 wonderful children. As a father figure, he had a knack of taking those who were heading down the wrong path and influencing them to do better for a worthy cause. I can say my life is fuller because of his influence. Dave Baker went on to say, he met with students and parents in their living rooms. He stopped people on the streets and wherever he could track them down. His enthusiasm was contagious. He had established, he did that to the officials too, by the way, wherever he could track them down. He had established a reputation as a winner and as a player's coach. In the fall of 1974, he took a bunch of tough kids and whipped them into a pretty darn good football team. Hempstead had their very first winning team in Mississippi Valley Conference champions. Here we are on the 40th anniversary of Bob Timmerman beginning his legendary career as the head coach of the Hempstead Mustangs. That from Dave Baker. Joe Paulson commented and said, Bob has helped hundreds of young boys become young men. I remember him once saying how proud he was of the fact that in all his years of coaching, not one of his players ever got an unsportsmanlike penalty called against them. Greg Purnell, who built a dynasty at Linn-Mar in football, referred to Bob, and he said, he motivated kids to a level I had never seen before. In all my years of coaching, I always remember him saying, if football isn't fun, the kids won't be there. If you don't have kids, you can't win. Bob's other motto, pain is good, refers to working your fanny off, and that if you experience pain during that process, that's okay. Bob's biggest asset to the athletic scene at Hempstead was that he would get many kids from homes and neighborhoods in Dubuque to play the great game of football when many other teachers and coaches would consider the student not a good fit for their program. Bob loves kids. He would always give kids a second and third chance. He would never give up on a kid. And, you know, we have comments here from Mary Jo Melson Yeager, Todd Halen, Ben Roush, Mark Hartung, Joanne Jorgensen, Tom Pleimling, Sharon Smith, Jeff Tracy. I mean, they came in like crazy. I would like to share comments from Tom Rusk. Tom, could you stand up, please? Now, a lot of us may not know the Tom Rusk story. You don't mess with Tom Rusk.
I have no talent. I have no talent. None.
Tom is a member of the Iowa High School Athletic Association Hall of Fame with such other Dubuque standouts as Mike Riley, Ted Bergmeyer, and of course Jay Berwanger. Tom was all Big Ten at the University of Iowa. I believe you set the record for tackles at Iowa when you were there. Played in the Canadian Football League, played for the NFL. And also, Tom was the Tough Man Contest winner in Dubuque, Iowa, which was a precursor to the UFC kind of stuff. And he would be the national champion, but we all agreed he was robbed at nationals. So you wouldn't necessarily think that Tom Rusk would submit such a sensitive, warm, and fuzzy letter. But this, I have to share this letter because perhaps better than anything I've ever come across, this letter captures the magic when you put together an incredibly gifted educator and a student who needs someone to help him. And this is from Tom Rusk. I remember the first time I met Bob Timmerman like it was yesterday. It was the spring of 1974. He stopped me in the hallway at Hempstead in front of the trophy case. Only one trophy case back then. He introduced himself as Coach Bob Timmerman, new head football coach. I went to introduce myself, but he stopped me and said he knew who I was. We talked about the upcoming season, and his passion and enthusiasm made me look forward to playing football. I can't remember all the conversation, but what I vividly do remember was Coach Timmerman asking me what I was going to do after high school. I was 16 years old at the crossroads of my life. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I thought for a moment and said, probably join the military when I get out, get a job at John Deere. He said, No, you're not. You're going to play. You're going to college and you're going to play football. I didn't know what to say. I never thought about going to college. He put his hand on my shoulder and smiled. For the rest of my high school career, it seemed like Coach Timmerman's hand never left my shoulder. That summer, I went to Hempstead Monday through Friday to lift weights and run. Coach Timmerman was there every day. When football practice officially started, I was happy to see some of my classmates who originally were not going to come out. Decided to join the team due to the encouragement of Coach Timmerman. From day one, Coach Timmerman injected enthusiasm into our team. His motivational tactics were inspiring, fun, and meant to build Mustang pride. When two-a-day practices ended, we had a watermelon fest. Before Coach Timmerman cut the watermelons, using his symbolic sword, he raised the sword in the air and we hailed the Mustang gods. Now this is coming from a guy at a school where they'd never had a winning team before. That season we were predicted to have a losing record again and finish in the lower half of our conference. We finished 6-3, 5-2 in the MVC, and tied for the MVC Conference Championship. Only one conference back then. When the season ended, I was getting letters from Division I colleges and was excited about the opportunity. But there was one problem. My grade point average wasn't good enough to qualify for a D1 school. Coach Timmerman sat me down and explained what I needed to do and laid out a plan for me to attain an acceptable grade average. A day didn't go by the rest of that school year that Coach Timmerman didn't ask me about my schoolwork and emphasized the importance of getting good grades and what was at stake. I know he had previously called my mother and discussed my situation, but during Christmas break, I was lying on the couch watching TV when the phone rang. My mother answered the phone. I could tell by the conversation that they were talking about me. After my mother hung up the phone, she said to me, "Do you have some schoolwork you should be working on instead of watching TV?" Coach Timmerman had called. I raised my grade point average and accepted a scholarship to play football at the University of Iowa. I graduated from Iowa, something I never would have dreamed of at 16. I needed a college degree to get my current job of 30 years, a job I never would have dreamed of at 16. I met my wife of 33 years because of Coach Timmerman. And because of that, I have 2 wonderful daughters and 1 beautiful granddaughter. I truly believe Coach Timmerman not only put his hand on my shoulder and guided me in the right direction, but he helped guide hundreds of other young men. I can honestly say I owe my adult life, which I feel very fortunate, to Coach Bob Timmerman. Bob, if you could just simply, Bob, I know I run the risk that the board's going to get upset with me. If you could come to the mic and just for a minute or so tell us how you have managed to impact so many kids, I think it would be very appropriate. Thank you. Appreciate the board's patience.
As Mike Martin knows, I hate to talk. I love talking. I talk for a living, and I'm still talking on Friday Night Lights. My folks were in the nightclub business. I woke, in the old days of the Chateau, we had 2 rooms and a dining room that my mother normally rented out on Saturday night. So I had to stay in that bedroom on weekends smelling stale beer. By the way, I don't like stale beer. I knew one thing early. I didn't want to be in the nightclub business. I had a great high school coach, Galen Thomas. He was outstanding. I knew exactly what I wanted to be. And then I got a job as a lifeguard at Flora Swimming Pool. And I seen this Dempsey girl walk by, throwing her hips left and right, and I got overcome, fell off the lifeguard chair, and before I hit the water, I decided not to be a priest. And that's the truth. She didn't know it, but she had no choice. So when I got the diamond, I got a carat-and-a-quarter diamond. That's huge, by the way. But it reflected my personality because Mary will tell you there's a flaw in the diamond, isn't there, Mary? I got a little cheaper that way, by the way. I'm one of these lucky guys. My dad used to call me a lucky dog, and I really have been. I had great kids to work with, great wife who gave me 5 great kids, have a beautiful home, and just had it all. I might have made a few mistakes, might have punched a couple of kids a little bit too hard, but looking back, my mother raised me by punching me, and I somehow survived. There was an old saying, save the kid, but use the stick. So we really believed in the work ethic. That's what I'm trying to say in a more uplifting term. It's really great, and I happen to have some great friends like I introduced there, and some great football players, Bake and Russ, my lovely wife, Mike Martin, and Hoskins. It was just a great time. So thanks a lot. If I had a chance to do it again, I'd do it all over again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Just for the record, those punches were slaps along the helmet, and it was for positive things. That was a Bob Timmerman punch.
Okay. All right, there is a motion on the table. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you and congratulations, Bob.
Great. Thank you. I move that the Board of Education approve the donation of a damaged school bus to emergency services for training purposes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the donation of a damaged bus to emergency services for training purposes. Any discussion?
Is anybody going to talk about that?
Basically, it's going to go to emergency training. So when you, Stan.
We have emergency folks in Dubuque often will ask if they can do some training on one of our school buses. Obviously, we've got a vested interest in making sure that our first responders know how to access a school bus in an emergency. We had one that was damaged in an accident this year. It's an older bus, 10 years or so. So the trade-in value is $8,000, and the damage is in that same ballpark. So, and instead of trading it in, we were recommending that we donate it to our emergency services, who will have that for training purposes whenever they need it to ensure the safety of our kids.
And this will be on the west, way out of the west end here, near the other training center,
I
right on the
believe
campus.
Kevin might
same
know that
training
answer.
center.
Don't know for that for sure, Jim, but that's usually where they conduct their training, so they'll probably be located out there. They will not be allowed to drive it because it's painted yellow and black. We will take the Dubuque school emblem or markings off the bus, but they will not be able to drive it.
All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
I move that the Board of Education authorize the Board President and Secretary to sign a release for damages and loss related to property damage at Washington Middle School in the amount of $120,500.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education authorize the Board President and Secretary to sign a release for damages and loss related to property damage at Washington Middle School in the amount of $120,500 even. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education approve the facility rental fee schedule for the 2014-15 school year.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the facility rental fee schedule for the 2014-15 school year. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education approve the student fee schedule for the 14-15 school year.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the student fee schedule for the 2014-15 school year. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education approve the food and nutrition meal charges for the 2014-15 school year.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the food and nutrition meal charges for the 2014-15 school year. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education approve the placement agent agreement letter with D.A. Davidson and Company for placement agent services in the amount of $83,950.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the placement agent agreement letter with D.A. Davidson and Company for placement agent services in the amount of $83,950. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education adopt the following resolution for final acceptance and closing final project costs for the public improvement contract with Conlin Construction Incorporated. Whereas on May 13th, 2013, Dubuque Community School District entered into a construction contract with Conlin Construction Company of Dubuque, Iowa, contractor, for the construction of certain public improvements generally described as the Hempstead High School renovation project. And whereas on February 14th, 2012, Dubuque Community School District entered into a contract with FEH Associates Incorporated, architect, for architectural engineering design services associated with the above project. And whereas on February 4th, 2014, architect filed a certificate with Dubuque Community School District certifying that the contractor had substantially completed the geothermal bore field construction of said public improvements in accordance with the terms and conditions of the contract and plan specifications. Whereas the architect has now submitted subsequent report, change orders, bonds, and pay application to the Dubuque Community School District recommending that the geothermal bore field project be accepted by the district as finally complete. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Education of the Dubuque Community School District, Section 1, that said reports and documents of the architect are hereby approved and adopted. Section 2, that said geothermal bore field public improvement is hereby approved and accepted as having been fully completed in accordance with said plans, specifications, and form of contract. Section 3, that the total contract cost of the geothermal bore field improvement yet payable under said contract with Conlin Construction Company is hereby determined to be $30,350. Section 4, that $30,350 of the total geothermal bore field contract cost yet paid shall be retained for a period of 30 days following this board's action to finally accept this geothermal bore field public improvement project pursuant to the requirements of Iowa Code 573.14. If at the end of the 30-day period claims are on file as provided, the Dubuque Community School District shall continue to retain from the unpaid funds a sum equal to double the total amount of all claims on file. The remaining balance of the unpaid fund, or if no claims are on file, the entire unpaid fund should be released and paid to the contractor in accordance with Iowa law.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education adopt the resolution for final acceptance and closing final project costs for the public improvement contract with Conlin Construction, Inc. as read. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education approve change order number 5 to Portson Construction Incorporated on the Kennedy School addition remodel project in the increased amount of $21,119.06.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve change order number 5 to Portson Construction, Inc. on the Kennedy School addition remodel project in the increased amount of $21,119.06. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education approve change order number 3 to Portson Construction Incorporated on the House Computer Lab renovation project in the increased amount of $3,376.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve change order number 3 to Portson Construction, Inc. on the House Computer Lab renovation project in the increased amount of $3,376. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education adopt the following resolution approving construction contracts, certificate of insurance, and bonds. Be it resolved by the Board of Education of the Dubuque Community School District, Dubuque, Iowa, that the construction contract and bonds executed in insurance coverage for the senior high school library roof and HVAC upgrade project, as described in detail in the plans and specifications heretofore approved, and which have been signed by the contractor, be and the same are hereby approved, and Board President is authorized to execute said contract on behalf of the district outlined as follows. Contractor, Geisler Brothers Company of Dubuque, Iowa. Date of contract, February 14, 2014. Bond surety, Merchants Bonding Company, $343,480. Date of bond, February 21, 2014.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education adopt the resolution approving construction contract with Geisler Brothers Company of Dubuque, Iowa as read. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education adopt the following resolution approving construction contract, certificate of insurance, and bonds. Be it resolved by the Board of Education of the Dubuque Community School District, Dubuque, Iowa, that the construction contract and bonds executed and insurance coverage for the Washington Middle School roof replacement project, as described in detail in the plans and specifications heretofore approved, and which have been signed by the contractor, be and the same are hereby approved, and Board President is authorized to execute said contract on behalf of the district outlined as follows. Contractor, Geisler Brothers Company of Dubuque, Iowa. Date of contract, February 10, 2014. Bond surety, Merchants Bonding Company, $145,050. Date of bond, February 10, 2014.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education adopt the resolution approving construction contract with Geisler Brothers Company of Dubuque, Iowa as read. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education adopt the following resolution approving construction contract, certificate of insurance, and bonds. Be it resolved by the Board of Education of the Dubuque Community School District, Dubuque, Iowa, that the construction contract and bonds executed and insurance coverage for the central kitchen loading dock project as described in detail in the plans and specifications heretofore approved, and which have been signed by the contractor, be and the same are hereby approved, and Board President is authorized to execute said contract on behalf of the district outlined as follows. Contractor, Clower Development Corporation, doing business as Clower Construction Company of Dubuque, Iowa. Date of contract, February 14, 2014. Bond surety, Merchants Bonding Company, $153,750. Date of bond, February 19, 2014.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education adopt the resolution approving the construction contract with Clower Development Corp., DBA Clower Construction Company of Dubuque, Iowa, as read. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education tentatively approve the plan, specifications, form of contract, and estimate of total cost for the Jefferson Middle School locker replacement project and set the date, time, and location as May 12, 2014 at 5:30 p.m. at the Forum, 2300 Cheney Road, Dubuque, Iowa, for a hearing thereon, and further authorize the advertisement for competitive bids.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education tentatively approve the plan, specifications, form of contract, and estimate of total cost for the Jefferson Middle School locker replacement project as read. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Tom, you sure sucked all the life.
Yeah, boy, this place was electric before you started with that stuff.
Somebody grab Claire. Get Claire back in here. We need Claire back.
I guess
all these football players, little girls doing benches, solving bully crises.
I always feel compelled at this point, just for those, if there are new watchers out there on TV or for the Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts who are here to learn about board actions tonight, that all of these decisions are made at subcommittee meetings after great discussion and input. They're open meetings, and so sometimes when we get into this mode, we just don't want people to think that it's something that the superintendent or everybody else drums up, but these are issues that are dissected at great length in subcommittee long before they come to the full board.
And the lengthy resolutions keep us out of trouble.
And the lengthy resolutions are what the attorneys tell us will.
Yeah, we had a nearly 2-hour facility meeting this past week, so a lot of this was hashed through pretty thoroughly.
I appreciate your reading skills. You did an excellent job. I was telling my wife 7 at the earliest.
Okay. All right, moving on. Educational Programs Policy and Strategy Committee report, Ms. Ryan.
Well, just a quick update. We always receive updates as far as how the education is going with our kids and the data that is presented. And one of the good things that Rosie Warder was able to present to us was the proficiency percentage of students on IEPs. And we have a significant amount of growth, higher than a lot, than the state average and also than the competitive UENs that we look at numbers. So it just goes to show that what we're doing, we're on the right track, and it's nice to see the numbers increasing, especially with the IEPs. So that was a nice report that we were able to receive with that. And we're also tracking under special education suspensions, and those numbers are going down. So we're taking a look at what type of behaviors are happening in the classrooms and what's in place to help have successful outcomes for those students. So we received a positive report on all of that.
Outstanding. Great. Let's see. New business.
I move the Board of Education approve the 2014-15 contract with Superintendent Stan Reingans. This contract is effective through June 30th, 2017.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the 2014-15 contract with Superintendent Stan Reingans. This contract is effective for 3 years through June 30th, 2017. Discussion, or for the benefit of those here, the board has completed a very inclusive evaluation of the superintendent. We not only included the board, we included a broad sample of teachers, parents, community members, and obtained their feedback in many different ways. And it's important for the viewing public as well as those in attendance to know that with Mr. Reingans. We are pleased with everything that he's doing, the momentum that he's created in the district. The evaluations were very, very positive, and we're excited to be able to extend Superintendent Reingans' contract at this time. So.
Thank you. It's certainly my privilege to be the superintendent. So thank you.
Well, we haven't voted yet. We fell right into the bottom.
I would like to abstain.
Yeah, no. Quickly, before I lose them, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
I was thinking he was always pretty humble until that moment right there when he got all presumptuous.
Gotcha.
Now you can speak, Stan.
That's right. Brings us to board member administrative issues. Board members first. Hearing none?
Some of you are going down to the legislative days down in Des Moines here next couple days.
One day.
One day.
One day. Yep.
Meeting with our local legislators.
Yes, we are.
And you're attending the Dubuque Day
With the chamber. Yep.
with the chamber, right?
Yep.
Wonderful.
And then we're going to the basketball
And
game
the basketball
afterwards.
game afterwards.
It's a long day.
We don't know how to dress. Do we dress for a party? Do we dress
Okay,
for
moving on. Moving on quickly.
I think you could say that every day.
Do we dress for a basketball?
Okay.
See, all right. Preview of upcoming board meetings, Superintendent.
We have a normally scheduled board meeting next month, so there's not a strategic plan update this month as there was last month. So just a normal meeting this April.
April.
Getting way ahead of myself.
All right. With that, we are adjourned. Thank you.